guess there's plenty of manure in there this morning. Hey guys, and welcome back, or maybe you're new here and this is your first time watching. If it is, I'm Taylor and I work on a dairy farm in Maine and I make videos about that. So if you like those kind of things, please subscribe and like and comment, because that really does help us out a lot and we'd love to have you guys join us. So getting right into it today, we're just getting ready to milk the girls. It's a little bit later than we usually like to get started, but we've been really busy lately. It's been a crazy past few days. We had 2 big storms. The first one we only got about 6, maybe 7 inches, and the last one we got about 20 inches. So some of it has melted just a little bit. I would say maybe we lost an inch or 2 yesterday. It was around 40 degrees, so we did lose some. It mostly just settled. So we have a lot of snow we've been dealing with, been trying to plow out. And since we just filled our yard with bales, it's been difficult to plow around them. It's just been a whole thing. You guys really have to see the snowbank. I'll take you out and show you that. It's just crazy. Look at that. It's just insane. There's way more snow than we had all year long. Just crazy. So we've been moving bales as we can and plowing. We were really hoping we weren't going to get as much snow as they were saying. We're also out of cornmeal. They're supposed to be bringing that today, we hope, because maybe the storm might have set them back. I don't know. Really hope they bring it today. This morning they only had about half as much cornmeal as they usually do. So fingers crossed they bring it today and we'll give them some more tonight. But anyway, that's why we dumped the bales there, is pretty much every time they say we're going to get a storm like this, we don't, but this time we did. So kind of didn't help ourselves out there by filling the yard full of bales. Something else that we've been dealing with lately is we have a sick cow. So she started acting sick, I'd say about 5 days ago. She calved a little over 3 weeks ago, so we weren't really worried it was anything like milk fever or anything. She is an older cow, but that's pretty late onset to be milk fever. It can happen. I'm not saying that it can't happen, but it's very unlikely. We knew that she didn't have a twisted stomach because we tried the ping test on her. If you don't know what that is, basically there's a spot on a cow that you just flick with their finger. If they have a deviated abomasum, which is just a twisted stomach, when you flick it like that, it'll make a pinging noise. She didn't have that. We took her temperature. She had a normal temperature. For that, we just use a rectal thermometer. It's not fun. They don't like it, and it's not fun to do, but she had a completely normal temperature. Normal for a cow is a little bit higher than a person. It's around 100 to 102 degrees. That's pretty normal for a cow. Anything above that is a little bit of a fever. I think it was like 101 or something like that, so fine for a cow. She is right here, by the way. You can see she is very thin. She's lost a lot of weight in the last few days. So at first what was happening was she was just acting kind of odd, not giving as much milk, really down on production. And like I said, she's a pretty fresh cow, so she should have been doing very well. She dropped very quickly. She's eating right now, so we're thinking she's on the mend. But anyway, that's how it started, and we were keeping a close eye on her, watching her for kurtosis, because that is pretty common in an older cow. On a not really very high protein diet, when they're fresh, that can happen to an older cow pretty easily. I think she's over 15. We're not really sure like how old she really is. We got her and she had at least 1 calf because she was milking when we bought her, but that was around 12 years ago. So she's 15 and up easily, but just to be on the safe side, we tested her and everything. She wasn't testing, but we did give her some propylene glycol just kind of as a precautionary thing. She was eating at the time, but then she came down with severe diarrhea, and I mean like watery and just really bad. So we started giving her diarrhea pills immediately. You're supposed to give them 2 in a day. We were giving her 3. It was just so bad. It wasn't really helping, and we started her on a round of antibiotics. Maybe she hadn't cleaned, we thought. We reached in her, couldn't find anything, but like I said, we did put her on antibiotics for 2 or 3 days. That didn't seem to help. We gave her a magnet because we thought maybe she had hardware. Did all the things that you're supposed to do, all the things the vet told us to do if we have a cow that comes down with anything. And finally, something started helping. We're not sure what. My guess is maybe hardware. I'm not really sure, but she did seem to come around a little bit more when we gave her that magnet. Her diarrhea has pretty much stopped. It's still not as stiff as we'd like it to be, but it is much better. Spring is always a really hard time of year on a dairy farm. The up and down weather, it's cold and then it's hot and then it's cold and then it snows, and it's just really hard on a cow. They have a pretty fragile immune system. They're really just pretty fragile in general, but there is every once in a while where you have sickness that goes around, and it's just an awful thing to have to deal with. So we were really worried, especially with what's going on in Texas and New Mexico. If you don't know, they have a disease there that they can't figure out what it is. It's affecting their dairy cows. I think it's something like 10% of the herds, or in each herd, within a herd, 10% of them are getting it. And it's affecting their milk production 10 to 20%. It's just been really, really hard on them in the last few weeks. It's really nerve-wracking when you have something that you don't know what it is and you're trying to figure out how to help your cows. And it's just an awful thing, so really my heart goes out to those people because that is something nobody should ever have to go through. It's so stressful. Future me breaking in here. So by the time I got this filmed, I think it was the next day, they actually did figure out what was going on in Texas and New Mexico. So it's actually an extremely pathogenic strain of avian influenza, I think. So at least they know what's going on and they can contain that and, you know, keep it from spreading farther. Those are the same thing. You guys know what I mean. Hopefully they can get that under control now, and even if it still is a really awful thing, I mean, at least they do know what's going on and they can get some sort of handle on it. But just in case you guys hadn't heard that, I did want to let you guys know. So yeah, now back to present me for you guys and past me for me. That was confusing. Anyway, so that's really what we were worried about. We were worried it was something that the other cows were going to get, and we were really on guard for that, really paying attention to everybody, just making sure all their manure was okay. And she seems to be coming around. Like I said, she needs to put on a major amount of weight. She's very, very thin. She lost a lot. It doesn't take much when they have diarrhea like that to really, really wipe them out. So, but she's got her appetite back and she's doing well. So we're really hopeful that she's going to turn around. And like I said, no one else acts strange at all. So we're really, really grateful for that. But yeah, it's been a pretty stressful last week because we've just been on edge about that and trying to deal with the snow. It's been crazy, and I know everybody deals with stuff like that. So anyway, if you guys are still watching, because that was a very long intro to this video, basically we need to get into milking this morning. Don't you start coughing. You better just swallow something funny. Don't do that, you're freaking us out. So basically we've got to get into milking. We're gonna have a little bit of coffee break first. We're not worth much if we don't have a coffee break. It's 6:05 right now, so we gotta get going. We do like to start a little bit before 6 or 6, so we're already behind this morning, but we're gonna have to catch up fast because the milk truck comes today, and they usually come pretty early, so we gotta get going and then we'll get into the rest of our day. We've got some exciting things we're gonna be doing today. All right, so we just finished milking. We gave the girls another bale. They're all bedded and everything. Ready to spend the day in here in the nice toasty barn. Because it started raining, so that's great. It's actually raining pretty hard right now. You can kind of see the snow looks a little bit funny, so it's putting a nice crust on that. It's actually supposed to rain until I think Friday. It's Tuesday right now. I know it's supposed to rain today, tomorrow, and Thursday for sure. I'm not really sure about Friday. With this amount of snow that we've got and then that amount of rain, it's just not going to be good. I know it's supposed to be in the mid 40s to low 50s one of those days, so it's just going to be really, really bad, but we'll try not to think about that. So I did clean out Cinnamon. I just kind of wanted to show you guys how she's doing. They really, really like this dry hay that we're feeding them right now. It's actually 2 years old, and they just love it. Apparently it's like cheese or wine. It gets better with age. Here's the little monkey. She said not really appreciating the cold weather, but she really likes it when you clean out her pen. She runs around like a wild child. I kind of missed it, but she stopped, tuckered out. I do have to go up and shut off the wash. That's probably done by now. Brent's in making some breakfast. And by the way, we did sell both of those calves. I believe they went to the same person a couple days ago. They picked them up. So anyway, first thing that we need to do today, we're going to be headed down to our welders. I'm not really sure. I don't think I told you guys we did take that tire down to him, and he took a look at it and he said it needs at least a couple new bearings. Like 100% sure he can get it fixed. I know he can because he's really, really good with that stuff. He could pretty much fabricate anything. So we're gonna be taking the manuals down just so he can take a look at those and see what he needs. And he also does need to know the model number and everything. So we're gonna run those down to him real quick. He's there today, so we're gonna take those down. We're gonna go for a snowmobile ride because I think this is the last we're gonna be seeing of this snow. I'm not gonna say we're not gonna get more snow because we all know that's totally possible. So if it's not raining too hard, I'm gonna take you guys out and we'll take a little ride around the field. It's really gonna be more of an indoor week. I hate this time of year because it's like, you can have really, really nice weather that makes you wanna get out in the field, and then it'll do this and just snow and be really awful and go back to being cold. And just like winter, And it's really, really hard as a farmer because you get so excited to get out in the fields. You're so bored from winter, you just want to do anything. I mean, we get to be in the barn, but doing this day after day, it just doesn't even seem like much. Even though it's a lot of work, it doesn't feel like you're doing much of anything because you do this all the time, so you're really quite used to it. But you don't get to do anything else, so you just kind of chomping at the bit to get out and do something. It's a really, really frustrating time of year, not to mention hard on the animals because of the weather, like I said. I also did want to mention, what about that cow that was sick? Maybe she has yones or something. I've heard it pronounced a lot of different ways, but I just go with yones because that's the one I've heard the most. We've only had 2 cases of that over the whole years that Brent has been farming. I only remember one of them. One of them was way, way before my time, but the one that I remember, she was actually standing right here, right in front of me, which is kind of strange, but she calved and we bought her from somebody like a week before she calved. We brought her back here, kept her in the tie stall, kind of away from everybody, just kind of like not really quarantining her, but keeping her away from everybody just as best we could, because we always try to do that with new cows, not like mix them right in right off the bat, just to make sure you know what's going on first, which is a good thing we did, because about a day after she calved, she got the worst diarrhea I have ever seen. It was basically just water. And she got so skinny and so deflated and she could barely even stand up. We called the guy that we got her from and we said, look, we're pretty sure she has yones. He was really good about it. We actually had bought quite a few cows from him, and this is the only time we ever had a problem with this, but he was really good about it. He took her back and he kept her for about 2 days, and she just died before he could get anything done because she had such a severe case of it. So typically when they do have yones, they'll come down to it within a year to 3 years old. They almost never will get it when they're that old. I mean, she's 15, so she would have gotten it by now if she was gonna have it. Like I said, it's more common between 1 year and 3 years old, and it's actually the most common between calves that are under 6 months old. Another reason that we know that that is not the case is they tend to have an increase in appetite, or usually at least the same amount of appetite, and she like completely lost hers for several days, so we know that's not the problem. She has something else going on there. So if anybody was wondering that, that's why I didn't really mention that, is because it's not, and not to say that it couldn't be possible, but it's very, very highly unlikely. Anyway, we do have to do one thing before Brent comes back out. He's probably gonna come back out first because we all know I like to talk. And when I get talking, I have a hard time stopping. So I'm gonna go shut off the milk room. We have to put some more oil in the skid steer. We're hoping for the weather to turn around so we can get that in the shop. Take the belly pan off in it and see what's going on. We're pretty sure the motors are leaking on it. It could possibly be a hose. I mean, fingers crossed that it was a hose, but we're pretty sure it's probably the motors that are leaking on it. So she is squealing again, so we're gonna put some in that. Make sure we're not running it too low. Kind of a bummer because that stuff is expensive, but not really much we can do about it. We got our oil right here. Now this is just the Fran stuff. We really like this stuff. This was the stuff that I actually told you guys just looks like vegetable oil. It's like almost clear. Not really sure if that's a good thing or not. We had really good luck with it. We actually did put this in the manure pump, and that's been doing really, really well. So it works just fine. It's just kind of odd that it's like clear. Put that on. All right, this is never really a fun job because you can tell she's empty. It had some vacuum there. Clean this off. Pretty gross. That funnel doesn't really fit in there that well. Okay, I thought I lost the cover, guys. Put this somewhere else. Oh, that's hard on the back. like one of those noises that I will always remember as long as I live. The sound of that lid closing on the skid steer. Brent came out, but he had to go back in for a minute. I just wanted to show you guys the sandwich that he brought me. Because this is like one of the best perks of the job. He feeds me all the time and he makes these really good sandwiches. So this one is like ham, bacon, egg, and cheese on a bagel. And it's even better than you can get at a restaurant. So it's definitely a perk of farming. You get to eat some really, really good food, at least around here. I'm gonna finish this and then we'll get into our day. This is the menu. Did they give us both of these manuals? This one and this one?
No.
Yeah, they
Somebody
must.
sent us that, but the kid gave us.
No, he was gonna, but
Oh, he never did he? Yeah.
we never went back because we got this one in the mail.
I guess
Somebody sent us this one, which was very nice of them. Made by Reliable Aftermarket Parts.
Where's that from?
It doesn't really say.
Oh, there you go. Over here.
Alright, so we need that. That's the bolt, and we need 11. This.
No, you don't need 11. That's a spacer. He's got that.
Yeah, but it looks like crap.
Yeah, but he said it.
Oh, he has one?
No, but he said that doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
It's just a spacer.
So we need 13. We need 13. These two small bearings. It just says bearing assembly, wheel axle ball. It's a breakdown of everything in this. Even the jack. All the hydraulic lines. Wish ours still looked that good. Oh, that's a 6-row though.
Yeah.
It's a nice one. Very dreary day. Not very nice. The lake is pretty much all open now. A little bit left.
So one of the roads on icy is 28.
Oh wow. We just got back from dropping that off with the welders. I just came down to check on the girls and see how they were doing. They are doing good, sassy as ever. She's over here trying to hit me because she's mean. Now she's itching her face. Good job. Very flexible. They still have some second crop hay left from yesterday, so they're all good there. I don't need to give them any more of that. They are doing well down here. As usual, the Jerseys come over to say hi. The Normandys stay as far away from us as possible. So, not sure why they're so unfriendly, but just wanted to come down and check on them, see how they were doing. They're all doing good. She is an escape artist. She was halfway up these stairs a few minutes ago. Would have filmed it, but I was trying too hard to get her back. Good thing that door locks, because she'd have no problem coming up that ramp. So I'm not sure if that's going to be it for today. It is still raining, not as bad as it was before, but enough to make me definitely not want to go out on a snowmobile. You can see how much snow there is right here from Brent plowing the yard. Oh my goodness, slippery. I think it's a little too slippery to be doing anything today anyway. The only thing I do need to do is go to the gas station. Oh, now it says I have 88 miles still empty. Before it said I had 23, so I think it's time to go get some gas. So pretty much this was just a video of me yakking, telling you guys some things that have been going on. I hope you enjoyed it anyway. I always enjoy taking you guys along with us and letting you guys know what's going on. So if you did, please don't forget to like and comment because it does help us. You know the drill, guys. Keep it real, keep farming, and I hope you'll join us in the next video. Hopefully there'll be no snow, we didn't have any flooding, and things will be warming up so we can actually get into spring. But that might be wishful thinking. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.